LEGOLAND!
Hello guys, it has been a minute. So we are in July now. Summer is in full swing and I'm loving it. But I haven't put out a video in a little bit, so I know we have some catching up to do. And I thought I would sit down and do like a little bit of a get ready with me. I've got my makeup here and we will chat. We've been doing some fun things this summer that I am super excited to share with you guys about. And I have some fun videos planned too, to kind of like get back into the swing of things. I feel like it took a little bit to get into our summer groove. Like the end of the school year was super busy. My kids have had camps and Jordan's been very busy with work. We've also had some personal things going on. I have shared a little bit more over on Instagram, so if you guys don't follow me there, be sure to follow along, shameless plug. Sometimes it's just much quicker to be able to like quickly give daily updates, so you will always find the latest and most in the moment updates there. So in the month of June, let's do a little June recap. In the month of June, Christian had a soccer camp that he loved. I've talked before about like what a big soccer family we are. He loves playing, he's really good. We love getting him involved in soccer. And then in the fall, Arlo is also going to be playing, which will be really fun. And then the other fun thing that we did is we went to LEGOLAND California, which we have never been to LEGOLAND before. I have friends who have annual passes and every time I see them go, I am always like so jealous and have been super interested to try it out and take the kids. And so we packed up all 4 kids and we took them to LEGOLAND. This video is sponsored by LEGOLAND California, so thank you so much to them for hosting us and having us. We had the best time. I did get a little bit of vlog footage while we were there, so I will insert that now so that you can see, but then I'm also going to talk through some of the details about it. We have made it to LEGOLAND. The kids are currently playing on this play structure and we're taking a break to run a feed for Soleil and just let them burn some energy. There's so much stuff to do here, so 4 hours. There's a parade tonight at 6 p.m. so we'll see if we can keep the kids going until then because it looks really fun. So there were seriously so many cool things to do at LEGOLAND California. I was blown away. We spent the day just because that's what our schedule allowed, but we absolutely could have and should have done multiple days. I'm super excited to go back and take advantage of one of the hotels because they have great places to stay right there on the resort. And everything is like themed and so beautiful. It's also detailed. Like, my kids absolutely loved it. And when I was there and I shared that we went, I got a lot of questions asking, you know, like, was it worth it? Would you recommend it? And I absolutely would. I think the thing that differentiates LEGOLAND from other like theme parks or amusement parks is that everything is so kid friendly. And so it truly was like there was something for kids of all ages. So we took a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and 2 1-year-olds, and they all had things that they could do. We even were able to go on a ride and take the babies, and they went on the little river ride, and that was so much fun. The boys had a blast. And then one of my favorite things too is that there's playgrounds all over the place. Like you can find a playground in every single section of the park. So if you ever need something just sort of like typical or routine for the kids to do, they would just run onto a playground and play and burn a ton of energy. We actually met up with some friends while we were there, and the boys had a bunch of fun just like playing on one of the playgrounds with their friends. But then they also were able to play carnival games, and they were able to ride rides and get food, and we were able to get drinks at a couple places. It's like the entertainment was endless. And then we spent all day there. Like we got there when the park opened at 10 a.m. and we left after the parade at the end of the day, and there was still more we could have done and more we could see. There's a whole water park that we didn't even get to tap into, so we've already made plans with friends to go back and do the water park because it just looks like so much fun. And like I said, the options for entertainment there are endless. So we ended up staying for the whole day and stayed for the parade at the end of the day, and it was super cool. It was so cute. They pulled up a bunch of kids from the audience, and we were watching the dancers like give dancing instructions and teach the kids how to do the dances with them. Soleil loved it. She was like bouncing up and down and dancing. She's gonna be a little dancer when she grows up. I know it. And that was like such a fun way to end the day there. My kids also really loved the Miniland USA in the middle of the park, which is basically like this whole, you know, built up example of all of these cool things. Like they had like a little mini San Diego of Legos. They had a mini New York City, and it was moving and there were cars going, and it was super detailed and really cool, and the boys loved looking at everything. They spent so much time there actually, which I was surprised about, but they loved it. And then the park also had all of these like little stations where you could go and you could build Legos and you could interact with them in different ways, and then like put your Legos on display. So there was just a ton for the kids to do. I feel like I keep saying that, but I was really truly like blown away. I feel like that trip there was kind of the start of our summer experience, and going there and doing such a fun-filled like family activity with everyone felt like we were truly like kicking off summer. It was just a blast. I would highly recommend. I will have all of the details in the description box, and if you can do it, I would highly recommend one of the hotels just so that you're like right there on the resort. Another cool thing that I learned about while we were there is that any of the gift shops, which there are a ton, there's gift shops also in like every little part of the park, but any of the gift shops actually have like a concierge service. And so if you buy souvenirs or you buy something in the gift shops, they'll actually take it up to the front of the park for you, so you don't have to carry it with you the whole time you're walking around, which with so many kids that we had, that was a game changer. I've never seen that before, and it was super helpful. So at the end of the day, we just went to the front of the park and we were able to pick up what we had purchased at like way in the back of the park earlier in the day. So that was super helpful. They also, even though they have the water park, they also have different like water activities throughout the park. So it feels really immersive. Like there's water rides, there's sprinklers the kids can play in, and then they have these machines that dry them off. So even if you don't have like full-on swim stuff with you, you can just dry your kids off, and it honestly kind of feels like a ride. My kids went in it because I thought it was a ride, and they had a blast even though they weren't even wet. And in the Dino Valley area, you know that was going to be our favorite stop. Our boys spent so long just playing some of the carnival games because they absolutely wanted to win one of like the big dinosaur stuffed animals, which they did, and they were super proud. But there's also like a roller coaster in there, which they call the Coasterosaurus. Like how cute. And then there's even an area they can dig in the sand for dino bones. They can again put together Legos in there. I feel like the cool thing about Legoland is that obviously it's going to be a hit for kids that love Legos, but even if your kids aren't like Lego kids, if that makes sense, they first of all will become Lego kids after going to this park, but there's also just a ton for all kids to do there. Like I said, like playgrounds that are endless, like the options never end. But with that being said, our kids were like somewhat of Lego fans before. They have played with their cousins a little bit and gotten gifts for Christmas, that sort of thing. But by the time we left the park, by the time we were done there, they wanted these full Lego sets. They've gotten another one since. They're constantly playing. They're really good at putting them together now. Like it just unlocked this whole new kind of interest for them, which has been super cool to watch as the parent. So anyways, that was like our fun way to kick off summer. It was a blast. I will have all the information in the description box down below. Would highly recommend going. It was absolutely like such a fun way to spend the day. And aside from our kids having a blast, we also had a blast with them. It was just a really, really cool thing to do. So like I said, I'm getting ready. Soleil, Jordan's downstairs with the babies because Soleil actually has like an in-home therapy session right now. I've gotten a lot of questions if I'm still gonna do a video about like her journey and her diagnosis and like all her health stuff going on, and I definitely will. I think actually what we're going to do is we're going to bring back our podcast, and our first 2 episodes back will be like a part 1 and a part 2, just talking through everything from the NICU because it is so in depth and it's honestly still evolving and still changing a lot. Like some of what we've experienced has changed. Some of what we, are dealing with is still playing out. And so I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but I do want to just give some updates. And I also want to film a video soon. Probably one of my next videos actually will be all about tips for surviving the NICU mentally as parents, because I feel like we learned so much while we were in there. I have a lot of tips and like knowledge to share about the experience and hopefully things that will help other people. It's something I feel passionately about, and I would like to sort of like pay it forward if I could. I feel like that would be a nice way of doing so. And also then when I make that video, then if you end up finding yourself with a baby in the NICU, or you have a friend who has a baby in the NICU or whatever, you could share that video and they could watch it, and it would just, offer some support to somebody who's going through that right now. So that is on my to-do list for the next couple weeks, is to film that video and get that out to you guys. But we also will be traveling a little bit. So we are going to be going home to Ohio in a few weeks, which I'm super excited about because we have not taken the babies to Ohio. The last time we were there, I was pregnant with them actually, and I was like halfway through the pregnancy with them. And so we haven't taken all 4 kids there, and we haven't taken the babies there, and we have not taken the babies on a plane yet. So it's going to be great. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. We do still have our house out there that we rent out, and we haven't seen the house, in almost 2 years or a year and a half at this point. So I'm just feeling homesick. I'm ready to go back. I miss my people. I miss my friends. I want to take our kids to our hometown. It's going to be a blast, but it is definitely a little nerve-wracking because taking your babies on a plane for the first time is always a little bit of an adventure. So I will vlog as much as I can about that and share about that too. Our first time traveling in an airport with 4 kids is going to be a little nutso, but it'll be great. We did get a little practice in actually this last week. We went on a trip to Joshua Tree and we did like a bit of a staycation. So kind of along the same lines as Legoland California, I feel like because we're in this spot where we have 4 young kids, we have a medical component, it's just us, we have no help, that I'm really all about the local vibes right now. Like anything we can do to get a lot of fun without going very far is like right up my alley right now. And so we did a little bit of a staycation, and we were in the desert in Joshua Tree for 5 days, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. I have a whole highlight reel on Instagram, or a whole highlight on Instagram with all of like my content while we were there. I shared a ton in stories, and it was just a blast. It was such a nice way to disconnect and to be with our family and be at peace a bit, but like in a much more slow area. We love the desert. Like, we're big beach people, as you know, but we're also really big desert people. And I feel very like connected and like myself out there. And Jordan, that's like his happy place. Like, his dream is one day to own a home out there and also rent it out and like have like a vacation home out there. So it was a blast. We took all the kids, we took our dog, we went with Jordan's sister too. It was much needed time away. It was beautiful. And you know, the drive was only 2 hours, but I feel like doing, you know, a week-long trip in the desert, and then also we did do our road trip to Texas last fall for Thanksgiving with the babies. Like, that's good practice, although they are much more older and much more mobile now. So, you know, playing with them now with as mobile as they are will be a little bit different, but still getting to be out of our regular routine for that long with them was good practice. And also just to see like what we need to have on us for Soleil, and you know, what like emergency equipment we need, everything like that. Oh, another thing about Legoland that I forgot to mention is that they probably don't even know I'm going to share this, but one thing that I found really cool was that they have a big first aid building, and they actually have medics like on standby. So when we got there, because Soleil is tube fed, we were running her feed through a tube, and her tube was leaking as soon as we got there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not going to be able to eat all day long if we don't get this fixed. So we went into a gift shop, and the woman working there called a medic over to come help us. And he just like brought us some medical tape. We taped it up. It was super quick, but he came to us and helped us like really easily. He was so friendly. The kids actually loved it. It was very exciting for them. But I thought that was really cool and just like a good thing to share, because for people like me who have medical components or medical needs for their babies or kids with special needs, I thought it was awesome that they had help on hand for that, and that there was a whole first aid station, and there's like CVS vending machines if you need something on hand really quickly. But also they crossed the entire park to come to us when we needed them. Like, when a company or a brand goes above and beyond like that for its people, it like means so much. So I wanted to give a little shout out again and share that experience with you guys too. That kind of thing, like back to the idea of traveling, it's just so hard to make sure you have everything you need for the kids in general, but especially the medical kiddos. So like, that's kind of what I'm preparing for when we fly, because if we forget something, you know, or she needs help with her G-tube or her trach, it's like, I don't know, you know, necessarily if we'll get that help out there. Although the Cleveland Clinic is an amazing hospital, but our town is very small. I just want to make sure we're fully prepared. So I'm getting myself all ready for that. And then after that trip, it actually is going to be like back to school season already, which is crazy. I feel like this, oh, can I get this earring in? I feel like this summer has flown by. Like, I was so ready for summertime, and it's going by way too quick. But that's good. That means we're having fun. We've been doing the pool a lot. We've been getting good family time. Oh, my sister-in-law, Katora, came out here for the Justin Timberlake concert, which I don't know if I chatted with you guys before or after that, but that was super fun. We had like a girls' night out, and it was a blast. And now they are actually going to be coming back in a couple weeks to just like spend a week out here with our family. And so I feel like we've gotten a lot of good like family time, and outdoor time, and time at the beach, and time at the pool. And summer is just like where my heart feels the best. Like, I live in California because I love summertime year round, but when it's actually summer, it's like another level of pure fulfillment for me. So I'm loving it. But like I said, back to school season will be upon us before we know it. And this fall, Christian will be entering first grade. Arlo will be entering TK, and they'll be going to the same school, like the same big kids school. So I'm really excited for that. I'm gonna be sharing a lot of like back to school stuff, and you know, I'm excited to like get back into the hang of things. I feel like now I'm at this place where the last year or two was kind of tumultuous and our family is honestly still going through some stuff, but I'm very focused on my own like inner healing and taking care of myself and taking care of my family and being my happiest and enjoying life and while we have it, you know, and it's making me feel more like inspired and present for content too. So that is kind of my very long-winded update. I hope you guys are having an amazing summer so far. I will be back very soon with hauls and day in the life vlogs. This one was just a little easier to just sit down and catch up with you guys this way. Please subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new here. I would love to have you join the YouTube family, and I will be back very, very soon. And find me over on Instagram in the meantime. Bye guys.